We are back live streaming. This is Trump Goes Soft on Greenland. And let me tell you, I am quite upset. He said that we are going to take Greenland. And I believed him. I believe that we should take Greenland. I am of the opinion that Greenland is already ours. We took it in the 40s when Denmark lost. Now, I don't know what the framework of this deal is, but unless it is Greenland becomes a province or a territory of the United States of America with full access to our civilians to be able to go over there and get some minerals so that we can make some money in this country so we can get back on our feet, so we don't have 60% of the nation with less than $500 in their bank account. Now, I have another video that I'm probably going to do shortly after this because I saw a post by Steve Bannon that they're still giving out $25 billion of small business loans in a DEI program to non-Americans. So, we'll see. But I have not vetted that yet, so I'm going to pull this up. This is him speaking on Greenland. And like I said, I'm actually very much not a fan of what I'm hearing in these.
Only supposed to pay 2% of GDP, but they weren't paying. Most of the countries weren't paying anything. The United States was paying for virtually 100% of NATO. And I got that stopped. I said, that's not fair. But then more importantly, I got NATO to pay 5%, and now they were paying, and now they are paying. So something nobody said was possible. They said, we will never go up higher than 2%. But they went to 5%, and now they're paying the 5. They didn't pay the 2, and now they're paying the 5. And they're stronger for it, and they have an excellent, by the way, Secretary General, who's possibly in the room. Mark, are you here? Yes, he's here. Hello, Mark. We never asked for anything, and we never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force. All the United States is asking for is a place called...
Then they better cough up. If you're not going to use force, then they'd better have agreed to the deal. I don't care if we give them $1 trillion. Open up the land immediately for mineral harvesting. I will go there right now. Oh, I've got to get 30 feet down into some ice? Pretty sure we can do that pretty rapidly. They make things called fire. You know what I mean? You make a fire drill, basically. Melt down a cavern down to where you need to go. Pump out the water as you go. Bingo, bango. You know, I mean, we're talking minerals that are worth thousands of dollars a kilogram that make everything we need. You know, So I know he's a very good businessman, so I'm sure that he has a good deal set up. I just do not like the sound of it.
Well, we already had it as a trustee, but respectfully returned it back to Denmark not long ago after we defeated the Germans, the Japanese, the Italians, and others in World War II. We gave it back to them. We were a powerful force then, but we are a much more powerful force now. After I rebuilt the military in my first term and continue to do so today, we have a budget of $1.5 trillion. We're bringing back battleships. The battleship is 100 times more powerful than the great battleships you saw in World War II, those great, big, gorgeous ships, the Missouri, the Iowa, the Alabama. Because I thought maybe we could take them out of mothballs. They said, no, sir, these ships are 100, think of that, 100 times more powerful than those big, magnificent pieces of art that you saw so many times ago, that you still see on television. You say, wow, what a force. 100 times, each ship 100 times more powerful than the big battleships of the past. So that was the end of the mothball story. So what we have gotten out of NATO is nothing except to protect Europe from the Soviet Union and now Russia. I mean, we've helped them for so many years. We've never gotten anything, except we pay for NATO. And we paid for many years until I came along. We paid for, in my opinion, 100% of NATO because they weren't paying their bills. And all we're asking for is to get Greenland, including right title and ownership, because you need the ownership to defend it. You can't defend it on a lease. Number one, legally it's not defensible that way, totally. And number two, psychologically, who the hell wants to defend a license agreement or a lease, which is a large piece of ice in the middle of the ocean where if there is a war, much of the action will take place on that piece of ice. Think of it. Those missiles would be flying right over the center of that piece of ice. All we want from Denmark for national and international security and to keep our very energetic and dangerous potential enemies at bay is this land on which we're going to build the greatest golden dome ever built. We're building a golden dome that's going to, just by its very nature, going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements. What we did for Israel was...
See, and he gets really tough on Mark Carney, which he should. Mark Carney's betraying us.
Share this with you, as he now has made a comment that he will not be imposing tariffs over the Greenland dispute.
Based on a very productive meeting that I've had with Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, we have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. The solution, if consummated, will be a great one for the United States of America and all NATO nations. Based on this understanding, I will not be imposing the tariffs that were scheduled to go into effect on February 1st. Additional discussions are being held currently concerning the Golden Dome as it pertains to Greenland. Further information will be made available as discussions progress. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and others as needed will be responsible for the negotiations. They will report directly to me. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Sharing this, quote, based upon a very productive meeting that I have had with the Secretary General of NATO, not be imposing the tariffs that were scheduled in Greenland. Further information will be made available as discussions progress. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and various others as needed will be responsible for the negotiations. They and Secretary General of NATO Mark Rutte. Though we haven't seen him just yet, but we do see Howard will be making additional remarks as we continue to follow.
Mr. President, it's great to see you. Thanks for the time.
Nice seeing you.
I threw away all my questions. One question I had, we did this 5 years ago. I don't think you reflect too much because you're looking forward, but can you believe what's happened in the world and what's happened to you over the past 5 years? I just can't help but think that it's been just something to reflect. It's incredible, the 5 years.
Thank you very much. It's been a great ride. We've had a lot of fun, and nothing's easy in life, but you keep at it. We have a tremendous economy going right now, and we have a country that's the hottest country anywhere in the world. And this took place over a year.
What's this concept of a deal?
The first years, you know.
Here's how I was going to start. I was going to say you gave it very compelling in terms of talking about what you've done in the first year domestically, but also very compelling in the case you made about Greenland. So I was going to ask you, did you see any of your European cohorts nodding? But I guess I don't have to ask that now because of the news that it breaks very quickly. Can you go into what you just talked about with the NATO meeting?
Well, we have a concept of a deal. I think it's going to be a very good deal for the United States, also for them. And we're going to work together on something having to do with the Arctic as a whole, but also Greenland. And it has to do with the security, great security, strong security, and other things.
Finally, a platform that thinks like you. The new Power
I
E-Trade
got
Pro
the
gives you
end.
nearly unlimited customization with up to 120 tools and charts across 6 workspaces, plus automatic pattern recognition from the original place to trade online.
Mr. President, can you give us some details on how you reached this framework, please? What is the detail
Good
of the
afternoon,
framework?
everybody, and welcome. I guess we don't have enough seats today.
What are the details?
Oh, crap.
Great security, great
In the last
national-
quarter century,
national
a sitting president
It's a deal that people jumped at.
I'm sorry.
Really fantastic for the USA. Gets everything we wanted, including especially real national security and international security.
How so? Can you give us some details, please?
Well, the deal is going to be put out pretty soon, and we'll see. It's right now a little bit in progress, but pretty far along. It gets us everything we needed to get. It's a deal that everybody's very happy with.
Does it still include you? Does it still include the United States having ownership of Greenland like you've said you wanted?
It's a long-term deal. It's the ultimate long-term deal. And I think it puts everybody in a really good position, especially as it pertains to security and minerals and everything else.
How long would the deal be, Mr. President?
Infinite.
Will there speak to Denmark? Did you speak to Denmark?
There is no time limit. It's forever.
Mr. President, can you give us some details on how you reached this framework, please? What is the detail?
Okay. All right. So we just got what that sounds like to me. I don't want to speak out of hand or out of turn. I'm going to take us back to here. But what it sounded to me like he said here was this is a deal for permanent residents on Greenland for the U.S. military and its bases, as well as open access to mineral rights in Greenland. Let's listen again.
Security and minerals and everything else.
How long would the deal be, Mr. President?
I back up just a little bit more.
United States having ownership of Greenland like you've said you wanted?
It's a long-term deal. It's the ultimate long-term deal. And I think it puts everybody in a really good position, especially as it pertains to security and minerals and everything else.
How long would the deal be, Mr. President?
Infinite.
Will there speak to Denmark? Did you speak to Denmark?
There is no time limit. It's forever.
Mr. President, can you give us some details on how you reached this framework, please? What is the detail of the framework?
I like how he did that, and I don't at the same time. But that is his big plan for the Greenland deal. I don't know, guys. What do you think? What do you think the next year is going to be like? I feel like we're going to have a lot of things transpire very rapidly. I want you guys to know that God loves you. And no matter what's happening in this world, that is in His plan. And His plan always goes exactly to plan. Oh, well, thank you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you enjoy it. Hey, God bless.